Allah, our Creator, Rabbul Alameen, says in the Quran, وَإِذْ تَأَذَّنَ رَبُّكُمْ لَإِنْ شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ وَلَإِنْ كَفَرْتُمْ إِنَّ عَذَابِي لَشَدِيدٌ. Subhanallah, and remember when your Lord proclaimed, if you are grateful, surely I will increase you in favor, and if you are ungrateful or you deny, then indeed my punishment is severe. SubhanAllah, that verse is in Surah Ibrahim. My name is Muhammad. I completed my memorization of the Quran at age 12. During high school, I got average grades to some below average. And after completing high school, I got rejected by every college and university that I applied for. SubhanAllah, deciding to turn that all around at age 19, I graduated cum laude from an Islamic institution in Cape Town, South Africa after studying Islamic studies full-time for 1 year. And as of early 2025, I am a computer science major at the University of Cape Town. In case you're wondering who am I and why you might be interested to listen to me, inshallah, hopefully that introduction can help you figure that out. SubhanAllah, us expressing gratitude towards Allah for that which we have, that I mentioned the verse to start of the video, that if we are grateful, then Allah increases us in that which we are being thankful for. And if we are ungrateful, Allah will remove it from us. And SubhanAllah, if you almost think about it in real world terms, so to say, then it's interesting because think about gifting somebody something and they're extremely grateful for it. SubhanAllah, that will make you feel good, right? And you might even be interested in continuing giving them. SubhanAllah, possible, very likely, right? And likewise, if you give somebody something and they are ungrateful for it, why would you give them again? Do you know what I mean? Why would you give them again? And so SubhanAllah, obviously I'm not necessarily comparing Allah's thought process and Allah's approach, to human beings necessarily, but I'm just saying to give us an understanding of how to consider this, like being grateful and then getting more, and then being ungrateful and then having things removed. SubhanAllah, you must almost just think about it in the sense of, if you are ungrateful for something, it probably means you don't need it or you don't care that much about it, right? SubhanAllah. And SubhanAllah, I guess there's also two types of people that could be watching this when it comes to this whole gratitude of Allah. There's those of us who aren't being grateful at all. SubhanAllah, in no way, shape or form do you acknowledge and do you ever, just take a moment to say Alhamdulillah, all praise is due to Allah for the blessings that He's given me. And SubhanAllah, I want to be there's a certain mindset that I think tends to creep in, and I'll admit that I get it sometimes as well, is that sometimes certain things in life, you almost feel like you earned it and it's on my account. But SubhanAllah, I think whenever that type of thought creeps in, SubhanAllah, if you achieve something or you purchase yourself something, you might say, well, I worked for the money and therefore I was able to buy it. So SubhanAllah, I think something very important to remember when those types of thoughts creep in, SubhanAllah, who gave you the ability to be able to work for it? Who gave you the health to be able to pursue the goal? SubhanAllah, who gave you the mental capacity to be able to set the goal and achieve it? SubhanAllah, who gave you the ability to physically do that which you needed to do? SubhanAllah, do you know what I mean? So that I think is important. Just when you're thinking maybe, okay, but it was on my account, so what has it got to do with being grateful to Allah? SubhanAllah, right? Astaghfirullah. I hope that there isn't too many people watching this who think like that. But take a moment, SubhanAllah, genuinely, as frequently as you can, every day. Why not? Multiple times a week, why not? And just say Alhamdulillah, Subhanallah, all glory be to Allah. Allahu Akbar, Allah is the greatest. Why not? Make that a routine, because subhanallah, I also wanted to, before I stretch this video like I always do, I wanted to give this analogy, and subhanallah, and this is also for those who are, making verbal shukr. They're making verbal thanks, and they're expressing gratitude on a verbal level. There's a certain message I also want to give, or a certain reminder, and I want to do it using an analogy. Consider this for a moment, that me and you, we're friends, right? And you come to me and you say, look, and you call me like, look, I got us some food, I want to pull up, where are you? Let's have some, whatever together. Like, let's eat together, right? I bought you something. Boom. Okay. So, we're sitting together and you give me my food and I say, shukran, genuinely. I was actually hungry and I was just about to get me something to eat, and you called at the perfect time. Genuinely, like, shukran for thinking about me. Okay. Just follow as much as you can, inshallah. I then proceed to take a bite, whatever this food may be. Consider it being, let's just take it a burger, right, or something. I take a bite, I proceed to spit it out, and in your face, throw the entire thing in the bin, in the trash, right? Odd moment, right? Odd little sequence of events. But let's just consider that. I want to ask you, what was I? In that situation, what was I? Was I grateful? Was I disrespectful? Was I appreciative? Was I rude? If you just consider the whole sequence of events, I said shukran, genuine, I appreciate it. I then proceed to take a bite, spit it out, and throw it in the bin. And I don't say anything about it, right? So it's not like, oh, I was allergic or I didn't like it. I just did it and I didn't say anything. And subhanAllah, this analogy, I'm connecting it to this conversation of gratitude and thanks to Allah. You would agree that in that analogy, the actions almost meant more in that situation, because that was a better representation of how I truly felt, isn't it? Even though I said shukran and I said thanks, and subhanallah. So all of that to basically say, subhanallah, I think it's important to back up your gratitude with action. Subhanallah, extremely important. If you are someone who frequently verbally gives thanks to Allah, which, subhanallah, is definitely recommended and is good, and do not stop at all. It's a form of ibadah in itself. So there's already just rewards in that. Just saying alhamdulillah. But you see where things become tricky when you are someone who, you say alhamdulillah, and you're verbally thankful, but then you still engage in these sinful acts, and you still do things which is displeasing to Allah, and you still misuse, and that's powerful. You misuse those very blessings which you thanked Allah for, and you misuse it in ways that is displeasing to Him. You see how the whole narrative just kind of shifts, and it's like, whoa, so are you grateful or what? Because then while you're using those very things that you claim to be grateful for, you're using it in a way that is displeasing to me. Subhanallah, just like imagine Allah speaking kind of thing. So, inshallah, that's something to think about, something to remind myself about as well. Subhanallah, to back up your gratitude with action. It's almost like be thankful in your actions. That's one way to put it, I guess. But subhanallah, inshallah, may Allah guide and protect us